Greetings, cosmic travelers. Welcome to the channel where we explore the unimaginable, the terrifying, and the awe-inspiring corners of science fiction. Before we dive into today's story, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a journey into the unknown. And hey, drop a comment below telling us which city you're tuning in from. We love hearing where our stellar community is stationed across the globe. Now, lean in close. Let me tell you about the day the stars vanished, and how humanity learned that even our greatest leaps forward can cast the darkest shadows. The galaxy had never known silence. For millennia, the cosmos hummed with the light of 1,000,000,000,000 stars, their radiance stitching together civilizations, guiding travelers, and nurturing life on countless worlds. To the insectoid scholars of Zuthra, starlight was sacred, a divine language written in wavelengths. To the amphibious engineers of the tidal planet Narrated, it was a practical tool harnessed to power their sub-oceanic cities. To humanity, it was home. A reminder that Earth, for all its fragility, belonged to something vast, ancient, and luminous. Then, without warning, the stars blinked out. It began at the edge of the Orion Arm. Sensors on a deep space mining rig registered a sudden drop in photon density. The rig's AI, programmed to prioritize profit over poetry, flagged it as a minor anomaly. But within hours, the darkness spread. Like ink bleeding through the fabric of space, it swallowed constellations whole. Panic erupted as world after world reported their skies turning black. No auroras, no nebulae, no suns. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from a dozen species argued, theorized, and despaired. Some blamed rogue black holes. Others whispered of an ancient weapon, a relic from a long-dead empire. But the truth? The truth was far stranger and far more human. While diplomats raged, a small team of researchers on Pluto's icy fringe worked in silence. Their lab, buried beneath glaciers to shield it from prying eyes, housed humanity's most audacious project, the first faster-than-light engine. For decades, scientists had toiled to crack the code of interstellar travel, and today was the test. The engine hummed to life, its exotic matter core pulsing with unnatural energy. The lead physicist, a woman whose name would later be scrubbed from records, gave the order. Initiate the jump. The engine flared. For a heartbeat, reality itself seemed to twist. Then, nothing. The lab's systems flatlined. When power returned, the engine was cold. The team cheered, assuming the test had failed. They were wrong. The FTL surge hadn't propelled a ship. It had torn a hole in the dimensional membrane, merging our universe with a mirror reality, a lightless void where stars had never ignited. The collision was subtle at first. Photons from our universe began leaking into the mirror dimension, siphoned away like water down a drain. To the rest of the galaxy, it looked like an eclipse, a cosmic occlusion. They called it the human eclipse. Not out of malice, but irony. Humanity, ever the newcomers, ever the dreamers, had stumbled into catastrophe. Chaos escalated. On Zythra, priests slithered into temples to chant final hymns. Narellis oceans froze as their star-powered thermal grids failed. Earth's cities, reliant on solar energy, plunged into cold and riots. The Council demanded answers, and humanity had none, until a signal pierced the gloom. Deep within the mirror dimension, something stirred. Sensors detected faint gravitational waves, patterns that matched no natural phenomenon. They were structured, deliberate. As the last flickers of starlight faded, a message arrived. Not in words, but in mathematics. A sequence prime numbers, then coordinates. The source? A point in space where the FTL engine had activated, where two universes now touched. The lead physicist stared at the data. "We didn't just open a door," she murmured. "We knocked, and something answered." The message was a lifeline in the dark, a single set of coordinates etched into the fabric of space-time itself. The signal pulsed with intent, repeating its prime-numbered cipher like a heartbeat. On Earth, engineers scrambled to retrofit a vessel capable of reaching the source. The Galactic Council, fractured by fear, refused to assist. "This is your catastrophe," hissed the Zithran ambassador, her mandibles clacking in disdain. Humanity would face the abyss alone. The ship, Starward, launched in silence. Its crew, a skeleton team of physicists, linguists, and soldiers, knew the odds. The coordinates led to the heart of the eclipse, the exact spot where the FTL engine had fired. As they neared the void, sensors detected an anomaly, a gravitational whirlpool, invisible to the naked eye. The captain ordered a descent. What they found defied logic. Space here was folded. A shimmering fracture like a scar split the cosmos. On one side, their own universe, drained of light. On the other, a realm of pure shadow, a dimension where matter existed as faint, ghostly outlines. The mirror dimension. The Starwood's lights pierced the gloom, revealing structures, towers of black crystal spiraling into infinity. And then, movement. Shapes flitted at the edge of vision, formless yet deliberate. "They're here," breathed the linguist. The beings had no eyes, no faces. They were silhouettes cut from the void, their bodies rippling like liquid night. Communication was impossible, until the creatures extended tendrils of darkness, brushing the ship's hull. Screens lit with equations, diagrams, emotions. The message was clear. This was an accident. We are both dying. In the mirror dimension, light was a toxin. The FTL tear had flooded their world with stolen photons, scorching their cities, dissolving their bonds. Meanwhile, our universe bled light into theirs, starving stars into extinction. Two civilizations choking on each other's breath. The physicist from Pluto's lab, her identity erased, her guilt etched deeper than any crater, studied the data. "We have to sever the connection," she said. "But the rupture is too stable. Cutting it would take energy equivalent to a supernova." A soldier laughed bitterly. "So we are supposed to blow it up?" "No," the linguist whispered. "We need to balance it." The mirror beings had shared more than warnings. Hidden in their equations was a blueprint, a way to collapse the rift by harmonizing the energy signatures of both dimensions. It would require precision. A surge of light from our side, matched by an echo of shadow from theirs. A cosmic counterweight. But there was a cost. The catalyst had to detonate inside the rift, a suicide mission. Volunteers would ride a shuttle into the fracture, knowing the forces there would shred ordinary matter. The crew argued, but the physicist silenced them. "This is our fault, our responsibility." She stepped forward. The Galactic Council, monitoring from afar, scoffed. "Madness," declared the Norellian delegate. Yet as the Starwood's shuttle plunged into the tear, even the stars seemed to hold their breath. Inside the rift, reality unraveled. Time looped. Light became sound. Shadow tasted like iron. The physicist, her spacesuit crumbling, activated the device. A prism forged from Earth's last solar array and a shard of the mirror dimension's crystal. Light and dark collided, swirling into a vortex. And then, silence. The rift imploded. On 1,000 worlds, sunlight flickered, then blazed. Stars roared back to life, their warmth melting frozen oceans, their glow reigniting hope. The mirror dimension retreated, sealing itself away. But in that final moment, as the tear closed, the physicist glimpsed something, a gesture from the shadow beings. A hand raised in farewell, or perhaps thanks. Back on Earth, the survivors mourned. Yet amid the ashes, a new truth took root. Humanity had not just repaired their mistake, they had bridged two worlds. The Galactic Council, humbled, offered a seat at their table. The Zuthrans sent envoys to study human recklessness. The Norellians rebuilt their grids, this time with Earth's engineers beside them. And in the years that followed, whispers spread, stories of a distant, lightless realm, of allies in the dark, and of a promise that one day, when both universes were ready, the door might open again, not by accident, but by choice. As for the stars, they burned brighter, as if they too remembered the shadow and the fragile, brilliant creatures who dared to rekindle the light.